Hi, I'm Don with Tank Techs and Just Science, and last week I put out a video talking about our new products that are based on our two formulas. One, the molasses formula, which is the old septic RV and boat formula, and the other is our cleaning formula, and I told you the marvelous things that we can do with it. Now I'd like to share with you 35 times that I use it on one trip. Now this video is a little on the long side. It's a combination of 35 clips every time I pulled it out of the bag to use it while we were traveling, and how it worked. And you'd be amazed how often we need to put the probiotics back in the atmosphere that we're working. I think you'll enjoy it. It's on a trip to Colorado or to Oregon, and I think it'll give you an idea of what we can do with these products, because they are simply amazing. It is a little bit longer than our normal clips, but it's interesting because you'll see things that you never thought of before. This stuff is amazing. Okay, we're heading on a road trip to Oregon, about 2,500 miles round trip. Hotels, friends, typical stuff, but you see I got my essentials packed right where they're there. Got my cleaner, got my odor transformer. We can handle whatever situation we run into. It'll be interesting to see along the way where we end up using it, but I didn't plan on using it. And I've got little bottles ready to go for everything. And on the odor side, if we get into an odor situation, I've got a little pump up sprayer that I can fog a room with real quick. I'm saving that for a hotel room because I know that if you need to take out cigarette smoke or whatever kind of odd odor might be there, I got it covered. So I'll show you how we use each of them on the way. All right, we're leaving this lovely area, and I commend the staff for whoever is trying to take care of that, because the restrooms are very clean, but a very distinct damp and chemical smell to it, and the normal stuff. And if they would just use probiotics in the wash, they could get rid of that odor and not have to add the chemical. How do I know that works? Because I did it at the beach. In the wet beach houses that were bad, I took in a little bit bigger sprayer because they were smaller private rooms, sprayed it out, odor was gone and bioprotected. We're using chemicals to kill bacteria in here when we should be using probiotics to outcompete the harmful bacteria and take care of the odors. The technology is there to take care of this. Too big an area for me to spray it out just for the few seconds I was there. But there's definitely a better way to do this. Hopefully we'll make some headway on this in the future and switch over to probiotics. I know everybody wants to kill all the bacteria. Not our desire. All those bacteria have their proper places. We just want to control it and make sure that the pathogenic bacteria are held at bay, and the probiotic bacteria, which are health-giving, are in the forefront. We don't need to get rid of everything when we can keep it all in balance the way it was intended. So, we are 60 miles outside of Phoenix. This is the beginning of a almost 3,000 mile journey, and there's a little bit of the Arizona countryside. It has its own spectacular beauty, but after you drive through 3 or 4 hours of it, I've seen all that kind of beauty I want to. We'll move on to something. I really love the coast, though. It's really pretty. We'll show you that later. Okay. Sometimes I ask myself, why am I making these cages for these chukar? Today I'm in Apple Valley, California, and I'm sitting in front of a mountain. I lived about a half mile from the base of this mountain, and those chukar lived right there. And for the first 30 years of my life, I spent a lot of my time climbing around those mountains, listening to those chukar. And the birds that I have now are just a reflection of my childhood, because I love them then and I love them now. And the guys I've got in the cages, they fight with me over the eggs, and some of them will just sit there and let me pet them. And I just really enjoy it, and it's worth it to me. It doesn't have to be a really good reason to have them, just they make me happy. When I was a kid, I used to come flying down this road on my bicycle just after sunrise,
And this is Mandan and Apple Valley Road. That signal that's there now, and none of those houses were here. But it was just an open desert, and I'd fly across there, and I knew I should stop at the stop sign on this road because cars were going 65 miles an hour on Apple Valley Road. But I thought, what's the chances of me finding a car at the exact same time at sunrise? And I don't know how many times I did that till one morning I scared a poor lady to death because I flew right in front of her. And only by God's grace did I not get wiped out. Well, all the probiotics in the world wouldn't have done me a bit of good for being that dumb. But I was a kid, and the Lord does protect those of us that are a little more risk-taking than we should be. But interesting to see the changes. For those of you interested, the Mojave River is now coming out of the ground right now after the great rains that they had this winter. And it is flowing under the bridge at the Narrows again, but not up on Yakaloma Road. So there's enough water to force it out in its traditional areas, but not so much it's going to build up the water table all that much. Still heading to Barstow. Probio barriers and probio benefits. And the barriers keep harmful things from happening. The benefits make positive things happen. But I remember coming down this road a little over 50 years ago. Now it was all desert then, and all that you see out there is nothing. It's Mandan and Apple Valley Road, if you happen to be familiar with it. But back then it was just a desert road and the main drive. And I was in a hurry to get to the bottom of this hill on my bicycle. So maybe half mile away is the river. And that's where I wanted to be when the sun came up. And I remember coming down here, and I just couldn't be bothered to stop for the stop sign, because you know what's the chances that a car is going to come through here at the same time a bike comes through at sunrise? Until one morning I just barely missed being hit by a car. All the probiotics and barriers and all the probiotic benefits wouldn't have done me a bit of good. Other places, a lot of good. Driving a bicycle through a stop sign on a main road even 50 years ago was a really dumb idea. But the Lord is gracious. And for those of you who know the area, the Mojave River is flowing a little bit. It's not at the Bear Valley crossing, but it is at the Narrows crossing. So the water is coming up under the underground, and for a while anyway. So that's an improvement, and we're thankful for the rain that we didn't have here last year. Okay, we're on a road trip to Oregon and stopped into a nice little establishment here off the highway, and went in to use the restaurant. In the restroom and the bathroom, and it was clean, but how do I say this delicately? The floors in the stalls were wet, and they weren't just mopped. You got my drift? So now I have no other choice. I've walked through it. So now what do? Here's what I do. I've got my all-purpose cleaner with the probiotics, and I'm not putting that back in my car because I know what I had to walk through. So I'm just going to bioprotect. Oops. So I just filled the side of the car. Sorry about that. But I'm going to bioprotect my shoes. Something I had not anticipated having to do, but I feel better about it because I don't want to get back in my car and spray all that down. So we're good to go, but that's why I carry this with me. You never know what you're gonna need to protect yourself from. And I know that I now have a probio barrier on the bottom of my shoes, where a moment ago I didn't. And it will also take care of the odor. We used the cleaning solution because that's what I want. I didn't really smell a lot, but I don't need to. I know what's there. So we're back on the road again, and I'll show you the next time I have to pull it out. These Ryobi sprayers in the back of my work truck because we use it a lot there. But I picked one up here at Home Depot in California because my local ones didn't have it. 20 bucks. But it disinfects, cleaning solution, deodorizers. Guess what? This thing's staying in my car. I just realized sometimes you have to fog an area. I got both chemicals in here. I'm sorry. I've got both of our products in here. I can mix it however I need to for the moment. But with what I just did, and the difficulty with the little bottle was spraying on the bottom of my shoe, This one would work really well. And if it was a different location, I could go in and spray that bathroom and take care of it, not have to worry about it. So I'm gonna keep one of these in my car and one of them in my house for 20 bucks. On this trip, I'll probably end up buying a battery just to have it there. And according to this, 80 charges per tank. So that'll do everything that I needed to do. But I just showed my wife and told her what had happened, and she said, "Oh, good thing you have the probiotics. That'll take care of it." That's why I carry them around, because I don't want to be sick. I don't want to carry that bacteria with me wherever I go, and I know it gives a probiotic barrier, and I know it's going to take care of everything. And I know I have the benefits of probiotics. If you're not familiar with probiotics, just Google it, look it up. It'll tell you what it does. I just use it from experience that scientists have convinced me a long time ago. This stuff really is wonderful. Stopped to fill up a little bit of gas here at the station on the way to Oregon, and got a little of that gassy, oily diesel smell on my hands. So I'm using the odor transformer formula at the 32 to 1. I'm going to spray my hands out. It's going to probio protect, it's going to probio barrier, and it's going to remove the odor from my hands of the gasoline and or diesel. And we'll go along the way, and I won't even know that I stopped to fill up, and I'm protected after handling everything. One of the values of the probiotic odor transformer, this stuff does incredible things, and that's why I keep it right here, so I can't spray my hands and film at the same time, but that's what I'm going to do. Just one more layer of protection on this trip cross country. As it turns out, we're in a restaurant in Wairika, and the water shut off. So, well, we have no problem because we have our probiotics here anyway. So we're using just that diluted 32 to 1 of our all-purpose cleaner, and it will take care of everything. I just pumped some gas, so I'm gonna switch over here and do mine too. So I don't have to worry too much about it. If I could just let that dry in, but I'm gonna grab the steering wheel, got a little rag here, and we're good to go. Okay, it has nothing to do with probiotics, but Wairika is just gorgeous right here. Coast, we're just heading up the Oregon coast on the 101, and I see stuff laying alongside the road that I thought I'd point out. And there is your classic stinky slinky that has fallen out of somebody's car. They put it in. It's a common sight along the road. I don't know if you can see it very well without a telephoto, but that's the whole 20-foot section of it laying right there. Lost. It's one of the reasons we like the flat ones. They fold up and they don't fall out of the bumpers. They're easier to take care of. So where are we? We are at a crab shack in
South Beach. We're South Beach Crab.
What it is. Anyway, probiotics. That will take. Now,
It's not sticky.
okay, and now we're using our probiotic cleaner to take care of our hands, and we're good to go. We've got napkins there. If I was worried about the quality of the table, I'll just spray the table.
Sam, Andrea.
Looks pretty clean, but
Andrea, sorry.
everything's good. Well, you can dry it if you want to, or just let it set and let it dry itself. That's the value of the probiotic cleaner. It not only cleans, but it protects. And
Yeah, they're both the same. Yep.
all of these people sitting around the table are very familiar with the products, and we will show you some other stuff later. Was it dirty?
Yes.
Okay, leave it to that. We just changed the program to cleaning the table. If you want some for your side, this we would not have known. Yep, the table was not as clean as we thought it was, which is why I carry the probiotics. I like probiotics cleaning, so it's beyond clean. It is clean and bioprotected. probio barrier benefit, probio barrier against any pathogenic bacteria that would do that. We're good to go now. And that was at this little spray bottle, which, you know, I'm always have it. Calamari here. Oh, I don't know. He's got prawns. We've got a Dungeness crab there for everybody. Fried fish, shrimp, and a trio of halibut, salmon, and something else over here. All right. We know the table's clean. Food looks good. We're doing it.